This is a medical product that people are using to improve their quality of life, and we want to be able to provide that to anyone that wants it, really. My name is Stephen Wilson. I'm Iowa's regional manager. I've been with MedPharm Iowa, now Bud & Mary, since 2018. So I've had the fortune and the pleasure to be able to oversee and kind of be a part of the growth and success that we've had here in the state since then. We started as MedPharm Iowa in 2018 as a reflection of what the current status of the medical program was. It was a very restrictive medical program, very pharmaceutical in nature. And so we wanted to demonstrate that, we're not just some corporate cannabis. This is a family-owned business at the end of the day who has a dedication to creating quality cannabis products and really cares about the customers and patients that are buying them. The most significant challenges we faced in getting operational was the disinformation about what we are as a company, the products that we sell, and just what the program in general is about. The frequent questions and the frequent responses that we get to our presence is, well, I didn't even know this was an option here in the state. And it's a very small and limited program, so it's understandable that would be the case. So a big part of what Bud & Mary's does is try and educate Iowans in the communities that we operate in about the products that we sell and the medical cannabis program here in Iowa in general. Compared to like a recreational state like Illinois, the big difference is here you need to have a medical cannabis card certified by a healthcare provider to be able to purchase. We have medical cannabis, which this facility operates under. There's also consumable hemp. Each of those kind of tailor to different products. Consumable hemp program here in Iowa allows for products that contain less than 0.3% THC by weight. So like gummies, chocolates, more traditional edibles technically fall under the consumable hemp program. So those are products you would not need a card to be able to purchase in our dispensaries, for example. The products that you do need a card to purchase are some of those traditional medical cannabis products. Think the vapes, the waxes, the tablets, the tinctures. Those are the products that you do need a card to purchase. Any product that we manufacture in this facility, you will need a card to purchase. We've been able to expand the types of healthcare providers that can certify you for medical cannabis. Now any MD, DO, nurse practitioner, or physician's assistant can certify someone for medical cannabis. The conditions have expanded as well. One of the things that we saw in the beginning was something called untreatable pain. That definition was expanded to chronic pain, which is much more in line with what we see in other medical cannabis markets.
People like roll their eyes and like, oh, medical marijuana. And it's like, yeah, like if you saw my life, like in the pain levels that I deal with, like it is actually legitimately helping increase my quality of life here. Like I'm not just like using it. Not that there's anything wrong with using it recreationally. It's just that they kind of get blurred because of that.
This distinction between medical and recreational, I find sometimes can be a little confusing because, you could be in there, you could be an athlete, right? And twisted your ankle or something, and that causes you a great deal of pain. Are you dying? No, you ain't dying, but it does impede your quality of life. So we're trying to reframe kind of the thought process between medical and recreational versus trying to improve quality of life is really what we're after at the end of the day.
It's no big deal to have a marijuana possession conviction on your record.
I didn't say that. I said you don't. Every time we disagree to be called on a point of order.
Understood. Less dangerous, less deadly, that we ought to try and migrate a few more people to.
Certainly I didn't get into this business to legalize weed. I got into this business to try to make life better for Iowans. I believe that part of making life better for Iowans is legalizing this product so they can have a safe product, use it for medicine, and also so that our state can have some revenue that right now we're given somewhere else. We could have expanded it in 2017, and instead we rolled it back. And that makes it really hard for Iowans to truly be able to access the care they need. And right now we know that Iowans are going across the border, almost every state, and getting marijuana and bringing it back to the state. And Iowans are tired of funding Illinois, Minnesota, and Missouri public schools. It's time to support Iowa public schools with this money.
Look at places like Colorado that have contributed to schools, have contributed to infrastructure using cannabis tax dollars. You know, it's a great boon for the economy, I think. It creates opportunities for people who are wrongly imprisoned by the war on drugs. We've come a long way in the last even 5 years in that, and it's really an opportunity, I think, for not just Iowa, but the nation as a whole to rally around it and ensure that we're just improving the communities that we live in.
We've just seen more states legalize it in the past few weeks. And so Iowans continue to miss out. And frankly, Iowa continues to miss out on revenue that we could have. Because as I said, people are going across the border to buy marijuana in other states, and they're getting all that tax revenue, we're not. This is one of those things that's going to divide us from other states as people are choosing where to move, right? Because it sends a message that you can get natural care here, or you can be required to get synthetic opioid care.
After a while, you do develop chemical dependency. Like, that is what happens to your body. You need more, and when you don't have it, you go into withdrawal. You get sweats, you get aggravated, your pain goes up. It's just what happens to the body. It's a natural chemical process. And so that doesn't happen with medical marijuana with me.
Especially coming out of the opioid crisis and pandemic that we've been in, it's really important that there's an alternative medication to managing pain and other symptoms that people have as well.
I have a fellow legislator who served a constituent he's a pharmacist. When we changed the law back and made it harder to get medical cannabis, he started coming back and getting opioid prescriptions. And that's an exact reason why we need to continue to provide this service to Iowans, because their only alternative is addictive opioids, and Iowans deserve better. Several members of the Democratic caucus, including myself and Representative Lindsey James and many others, have introduced a comprehensive legalization package that does look at everything from manufacture through sale, that regulates marijuana in the state like alcohol, that makes sure that youth don't have access to it like they do right now. If we make this product legal, we can trace it, we can track it, and we can follow that from seed to sale. We can also make sure that the people in prison for low-level drug offenses are no longer in prison costing our state money for offenses that do not present a public health risk. Iowans are ready, the science is there, Republicans in the legislature just aren't. They believe, like we do, that Iowans should have a choice and be able to have this product regulated like alcohol is in the state. They are just not there politically. And so I hear time and again that if this legislation came up on the floor of the Iowa House, it would pass with 78 votes. We only need 51. They won't bring it to the floor because the governor won't sign it. And the governor has fundamental disagreement with legalizing recreational marijuana, will never do it, and she's the backstop.
Marijuana has been like just an absolute godsend for me in terms of managing those effects and minimizing the side effects of a lot of the drugs that are otherwise on the market.
We are still victims of a 1980s just say no mentality here. And we know that younger voters really want to have this legalized. We know that regulation is important for Gen X voters like myself. So it's really time to start making that move.
You know, we just got to come together as Iowans and recognize that this is a very good thing for the state. And so anyone who wants to buy medical cannabis products here in Iowa, let them be able to do so and let them be able to buy quality cannabis products.